Okay, aloha and welcome everyone to this live Healing Moments program for July. And I'm so grateful to have everybody here today. The Healing Moments program offers a spiritualist perspective on what's happening in the world as we tune into our hearts to find the answers to life's big questions and move forward into the new dimensional energies. Our topic today, letting somebody in, our topic today is, are you getting what you want? Discover how to manifest the changes you want in life. And the reason we go with this topic of change is it's the 7 months. So in the Lemurian numerology, 7 is the number for transition and change. So if you think last month was wild, get ready for the 7 month. Always, you know, the 7 month for me. Hi, Wendy. The 7 month for me is always dynamic. It's like the first half of the year is POW is over. And then we move into the second half of the year, going through this 7 months of dynamic transition and stuff. It's a great time. As I said, I think somewhere in one of the write-ups, it's a great time to look at things in your life that you don't serve you any longer and let them go. And Wendy got a head start on that, I know. In her home, she let go of a lot of stuff, which I'm really envious of. And it's just a perfect time to look at our own lives and look at our 4-body system: physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. And what would we like to let go of? And what do we want to transition into this month? So all of that is a great prelude to our topic for today. But before we begin, I want everybody to get just really relaxed and take 5 deep breaths, drawing in the golden particles through your crown chakra, and then bring them down through the pineal gland, and they change into white light and down into your heart. And then breathe deeply in, lock it, and exhale as I call upon the Creator's light, the Christ light, the Goddess weave of love, and all the beautiful energies of love, light, and truth that guide us in our journey on earth. And we're grateful for everyone coming live on the program, and for those listening later. We pray that the energy of love prevail in this program, and we offer the program for the highest light of love and healing as we move forward through the great shift in consciousness with the Goddess light burning brightly and leading the way. And we offer all of this in love. Amen. So hopefully that will anchor us a bit. And I want you to know that you can ask a question anytime. And you can raise your hand, and questions and answers anytime. And I'll get to you as soon as I can. So Aldina's put something in the chat here, and it says, thank you. She likes the flowers. This is the upstairs anthurium. I believe it or not, I have it in the bathroom, and the bathroom gets a whole lot of light upstairs. And so I bring it down when we have this program. I bring it down from upstairs and set up this thing there. So the other thing we want to do is pick a Lemurian prophecy card for this program. So I've got the Lemurian prophecy cards here, and I do readings with the Lemurian prophecy cards, or you can learn how to do the Lemurian prophecy cards for yourself with a Lemurian mentoring session, or a Lemurian wisdom session, I think I'm calling them now. So while I'm talking about that, I'm going to shuffle the cards 5 times because we're using Lemurian numerology, and that is also on my website. And 5 is the number for love. So we're putting love in the card. Isn't that great? Okay, so we got the cards right here. And I'd like you to, everybody here, and listening in the future, because there's no such thing as time. It's an illusion. So everybody that's ever going to look at this is putting their energy into the cards right now. And we're going to cut the cards and bring up the one. Okay. So today our number is 2, and it's all about balance. So this is the 2 of hearts, and I call this the goddess card. And I'm so grateful to have all these goddess lights on the program with me live right now. And those coming on, because the number for 2 is telling us to go beyond the yin and the yang of the 3rd dimension. So there's, you know, this is a card of balance. 2 in the Lemurian numerology is number for balance. And balance, when we talk about good or bad, or I've got it, or I don't have it, or whatever, tall, short, fat, skinny, all of that is a 3rd dimensional concept that we're always trying to balance, right? With our 3rd dimensional minds. But if we take it beyond the 3rd dimension and we balance it, and it's not about good and bad, it's about what is. And that's what the goddess light is about. The goddess light is all about the balancing of love. And so if we can bring love to every situation in our lives, we can see the beauty of what is. And at that moment, we can see the next steps towards what we want to create, right? So think about that. And then that takes us perfectly into our topic for today. So, and I'm going to be talking a lot about, here it is, this book today, and the audio recordings that are on signaturecellhealing.com online store. There's a whole 10 series of audio recordings that are the audio version of this book. And this book is the 10 Principles of Consciously Creating by Kahu Fred Sterling. And when I was in Lightways Publishing, we published this book. And it is a guidebook for what we want to create in our lives, for consciously creating. And just as a heads up, the 10 principles come from Lemuria. And Lemuria was this ancient land that was centered in the Pacific Ocean, and the Hawaiian Islands are the mountaintops of ancient Lemuria. So the Lemurians used the 10 principles all through their lives. They didn't have laws. They didn't really have government. They had councils, but they had the 10 principles. And that's what they used to evolve from first life, which was the 3rd dimension, to common time, which was the 4th dimension, and then into transition, which was the 5th dimension. So what luck that we have these 10 principles, again, thanks to Kahu Fred Sterling and Master Guide Kirill, that we can use to move ourselves from the 3rd dimension into the higher realms. And so that's what I want to talk about today. And so Sandra says this topic seems to allude to the importance of the application of the emotional body to create positivity and negativity in our lives. 2 of hearts. Yeah, the card, right? Yes, because it's about feeling it. Thank you, Sandra. It's about feeling what we want to create. So when we're consciously creating, we have this question, right? Are you getting what you want? That's our topic for today. So as soon as I ask you this question, don't you think the next question you have to ask yourself is, well, what do I want? That would be the follow-up question, right? So you've got to ask yourself, am I getting what I want? But what is it that I want? And how many of us really know what we want, you know? And there might be certain, we might think we know what we want, right? But then what we really want might be something where you think, then afterwards you say, well, I could never have that. Or I don't deserve that. I don't feel worthy of that. Those other people are keeping me from having that. It's their fault. or I've got this other person in my life, I got to take care of that person, or, you know, and so it's keeping you from what you truly want. And you do deserve to have what you want, you know, you really do. We all came into this life with a blueprint. And that means in the pineal gland of the signature cell is the signature cell in the pineal gland has the blueprint, the life blueprint, which is the plan for what we wanted to do in this lifetime. And, you know, if you really look at your blueprint, you can actually see it. If you have like a Lemurian astrology reading, you could look at your blueprint and think, did I really put that in my blueprint? You know, or wow, that looks really good. I'm glad I put that in my blueprint. But you really did create a life plan. And so if you are now in a situation where you think, you know, I don't really want that, maybe it's time to change so you can bring more of what you do want into your life by focusing on what you want to create, right? And so for me, I mean, chime in and ask questions anytime if you like, but for me, the next question would be, okay, so what do I want? What's the truth of what I want? And then that takes us to the 10 principles, and that's the first principle, is truth. So are you telling yourself the truth is the first question. Are you getting what you want? What do you want? And what's the truth about that? So is the truth, how do you feel about the truth? Is it the truth you really want that? Do you believe you can have that? You know, because you can. And so then comes the idea of trust, the second principle. So then you've got to trust the truth that you want that and you can have it. And that's the truth, right? But do we trust that? And sometimes we get into these situations where you feel blocked, or it manifests as a discomfort or a dis-ease or an illness in your physical body because you're not listening to yourself, listening to your truth. So when we have a physical ailment or something in our physical bodies, signature cell healing is a 4-body healing modality, a Lemurian 4-body healing modality. And so we come in with the blueprint, and then we heal the cellular consciousness that is holding the truth of that blueprint in every cell, 70 trillion cells of our physical body. So we come in from the spiritual, through the mental, through the emotional, and then we incarnate into the physical. But if we have something going on in our physical body, then there's something that we came here to heal, and we need to heal it backwards. So signature cell healing, or even this breathing, this 5-breath self-healing meditation that you can find on the Signature Cell Healing website, that brings up the light into all the cells, and they start vibrating, and you start looking at these things that are in your physical body, or maybe you're angry, or you're frustrated, or you get into an argument with somebody, or you actually have a physical illness. You begin to get into that cellular consciousness and enlighten it with signature cell healing. And signature cell healing begins with self-healing. You don't have to necessarily come to me, but I love it when you do. Come to me for a healing, or do a distance healing session. You can begin by healing yourself. And when you heal yourself, it starts to move that physical cellular consciousness into your emotional, and you begin to feel it. And then it goes into your mental, and you begin to get ideas about it. Maybe it's about this. Maybe I should just release all that stuff that happened to me in my childhood, or maybe I should just release all the times I had these problems. And then it goes into the spiritual, and you can heal it. So there should be nothing holding us back, right? As long as we have signature cell healing. So that's what I was going through. Oh, thank you, Wendy. Wendy came for a healing session recently, and it was really powerful, Wendy. I enjoyed it myself, and thank you so much for coming and for your beautiful goddess light. Sandra says our negative emotions can so easily interfere with our positive thoughts without us consciously knowing this is happening. This fact is often what we have to focus on too, because other people can interfere with our positive thoughts through influencing negative emotions in us. Then we can have this conflict of interest. I love that. Our passion to help create what we want through our thoughts is diminished and thus has to be renewed. So I'm starting to understand how important it is to associate with good people or otherwise learn to detach from them. You know, the more, Sandra, thank you so much for that. That gives me just a ton of things to respond to. There is, when you focus on your own self-healing, you won't need to detach from those people. When you're focused on your own healing and you start enlightening yourselves, those people will begin to move away from you. You won't want to put energy on them. You will move, they will move away and you will move away. So, excuse me, I was going to cough. Let's just take care of that part, because remember what I said, it's about self-healing. And the other people in our lives, I'm going to start coughing here. Excuse me. The other people in our lives are there to show us something. So don't ignore them. Look at the other people in your lives and ask them, why am I frustrated when I'm with this person? You know, because it's about me. It's about the self. It's not about the other people until you let it be, right? So if we can let it be about ourselves, we can experience great evolutionary growth by just being in touch with what's going on in our lives and wanting to make it better. Okay, so knowing I deserve to have what I want. And so you start there, Sandra, and say, what do I want? What do I want? I want peace in my life. I want to be happy. I don't fill in the blank. I want a new car. I want to live someplace else. And then, of course, and this is part of what Master Imhotep was saying in the channeling, which we'll talk about in a minute. But the next step then is to first of all, you say what you want, and then you make a mastermind statement in a positive way. So a positive affirmation. I have this, or I am happy, or I feel elated about my life. So you create your positive imagery about what you want in your life. And then you pay attention. That's the next step. Pay attention, because the universe and your guides and your angels are going to do everything in their power to put it right in front of you. And the only way that you won't see it is by I will block it in some way. Like, for example, I don't deserve that, or it gets dropped right in front of me, an opportunity to be happy. And then I choose to be negative about whatever's happening. Or there's a new car coming into my life, but I don't follow the breadcrumbs somehow, right? So the next step really is you know your truth about what you want, you trust it, and then you put your passion on it, which is the first 3 principles in the 10 principles. So you put your passion on it, and then you pay attention, because the next principle, number 4, is clarity. And you're going to be able to refine that statement, that affirmation, that mastermind statement, to say what what do you mean by that? I want to be happy. Well, what does that feel like? What does that mean? And you want to be as detailed as possible. In the channeling, there was a question to Master Imhotep about, I want a better life. Somebody said, I just want a better life. And Master Imhotep said, what does that mean? What does that mean to you to have a better life? Because the guides and the angels in the universe, they've all, they want to give it to you. They want to give you a better life. But if you're not ultimately clear about what that means for you, it's really hard to deliver it into your life, and it's hard for you to manifest it, right? So I think this is Sandra again. So, well, it's sad if one of them is your mother. You have to give up on healing with her. Well, let me put a little bit of another slant on that, Sandra. You don't have to give up on healing with her. You have to focus on yourself and look at what do you need to let go of in order to bring your focus to your own happiness and your own life. Because sometimes people that are in our lives can, trigger us in that way. And when we're triggered that way, it's the time to look into our own hearts and say, okay, what does this represent for me? Does it mean I need to let go of something? Does it mean I need to refocus on what I want in my life? I mean, it's really, other people, I've said this before on this program, is when I first started in spirituality, I came upon this list of spiritual truths. And I looked at one of the first ones was, there is no enemy, there is no one to blame. And I was really taken by that at the time, because I was really into blaming other people for my problems in life. And I showed it to my mother, and she said, well, that doesn't make sense, because that guy just cut me off in traffic and it's his fault and he did it to me. And then, over the years, I understood, yeah, of course the guy cut you off, but it's your choice how you respond to that guy, right? So I would say that to you also, Sandra, it's your choice. You're always in control. And that was another part of, if you don't take control of your life, someone else will. So I can be in control of my life. If the guy cuts me off, then, wave and say, have a nice day, and love that guy, because he's probably in a hurry. And I hope he doesn't cut somebody else off that doesn't like it even more than I didn't like it. But, I mean, we're in control. And that takes it into our number two, into the feelings of our two of hearts, right? Because it's our feeling about anything that we can change. We're in charge of what our life is about. It's her choice too, Sandra, but it's about you and your choice. I can't change. Like, for example, I can't change other people in my life. There's no way. I went through a whole marriage that way, trying to change my first husband. I realized suddenly it didn't work. And so I realized that it's not going to work. The only person I can change is me. And so, I mean, that's powerful when you think about it. We're in control. Okay, so Wendy, go ahead. Thank you for raising your hand.
Well, everything you're saying, Karinna, resonates with me, and Sandra, I totally get. It's so hard when it's someone so close to you and there's just this total divide. And I do think it's what you were just saying now. It's really letting go for us of, we want so much to heal it in a specific way with that person. But I think we do have to focus on healing ourselves. And then I think one of the biggest things for me when I'm trying to do that is letting go of all my desire and all my wants with that other person, and allowing them to completely be who they are on their path, whether I like it or not. And then I can heal myself. But until I let go of that, I haven't been able to heal myself. So I really get what you're saying is absolutely resonates for me. And that's the only way
Wow.
I've been able to do it with. And, we've all had those issues with other human beings. And when it's your mom or a sibling or even a child, it's just traumatic. But for me, at my age now, I've had to learn just to let go, that what I want for that person to be or recognize, it's not going to happen. And that's their path and that's their right. So how do I heal myself then? But I need to allow them to be who they are. And that's really challenging. But then it's all
Oh,
killing.
thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Wendy. That is Sandra. And then Sandra has another comment here. I know I have to heal physically big time, but oh, well, I can't do it with her. Well, you are doing it with her. Let me just say that, Sandra, first, in response to Wendy, what she said while she was speaking, I was thinking, and I bet you caught on to it too, Sandra, at the same time, is when this frustration we have with the other person, that's in the mental, emotional bodies, right? Now, if we're going to let that simmer there, sooner or later, it's going to drop down into the physical. If we don't address it from our heart and change our thoughts about it, it's going to drop into the physical. And that is, what I experienced having sciatic nerve problems for about 2 years, right? Is that I didn't deal with it in the emotional, mental, and it came into the physical. So now what I had to do with that is heal it backwards, right? So you heal the physical, you light up, the back, and they light up everything. And in the healings, you pay attention. There's, you're lying on the table or you're sitting or wherever, if it's a distance healing. And I, as the healing practitioner, I'm paying attention too, but I'm channeling the light through into the cells of the physical body, so that ailment now that is in the cells and it's vibrating, because could it be a past life with your mom? Could it be something from this lifetime? Could it be, multiple lifetimes? It's starting to vibrate out of the cellular consciousness, which has the blueprint in every cell, and it's going to come into your emotional so you can feel it. The mental will say, I get it. And then it's gone. But then it's healed. And you will, all of a sudden, I don't get sciatica anymore. I don't get it anymore. But it was such a default for me for so long that it just was sciatica, right? It's holding you back. It's holding you back. So that was what was holding me back for so many years. So Sandra, when we're healing, it's never about the other person, it's about the self. I mean, it is, it's kind of a paradox, right? Because you're healing with the other person, but it's about your healing yourself. And they're showing you something that you either need to let go of, you need to let them go on their own journey. You need to understand that, the focus needs to come back to you. That's a powerful share, Sandra, really powerful. And Wendy also, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Wow, we got through a half an hour already. I wanted to, if you have other questions about this, go ahead and put it in the chat. And yeah, physically. So, I mean, when it comes into physical, Sandra, that's a great opportunity, especially in this 7 months, to transition and to change and to let it go, to have different thoughts and to just key in on what do you want? What do you want? I mean, what do you want for yourself? I'm not talking about, I want my mom to do this or that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, what does it feel like, whatever you want for yourself in your life? I mean, can you imagine, all of us, this for all of us, can you imagine having the life of your dreams? And what would that look like? And why not imagine that? Why not focus on different aspects of that? So I just, let you know that, last month for me, I started to key in on this because I wanted to get back to doing something that I really love. And it was becoming difficult for me, and I didn't understand why. And so I started having pain in my hip, and not so much in my back, but pain in my hip. And I couldn't walk, and I love to walk. I love to walk on the beach, as you can see from my website and from all my Facebook posts. So I wasn't able to do that. And then I kept thinking, well, it's a slant of the beach, you know, maybe this leg is shorter than the other, you know, this kind of stuff. So then I went and I got a bone scan and found out that I have negative numbers, and you're not supposed to have negative numbers. And then all of a sudden, then the fear came up, right? Like, oh, my mom had that too, or oh, what am I going to do? You know, and this and that. And so I experienced how when you go at something that you want to heal, you're gonna face your fears. And if you're really clear about what you want, and what I wanted was to heal it. So when I found out that, okay, it could be osteoporosis, or it could be, you know, I don't have enough bone density, or I might be getting arthritis or something like that. I mean, I can feel it now, because it takes me back to like my mom and all the trouble she had. So I'm thinking, what am I going to do? And so I really, you know me, I mean, the Sun and Venus in Aries, I went full on, and Sagittarius rising, I mean, I went full on at it, and started to heal, and I threw everything at it. And the first thing I did was get a signature cell healing with one of the greatest healers in the world, right? So and then another healing, and with my goddess sisters, and you know, and created masterminds, and all of a sudden the possibilities started dropping in front of me, because I was paying attention. I paid attention to what people were saying to me, and to what I was getting in meditation. So meditation is absolutely essential right now, folks. So if you're going to do any kind of healing, or you want to make your life better, you've got to be meditating. And that's, you know, the 8th principle of the 10 principles. So you have to get into the prayer and say what it is you want. What do you want? Say it clearly in a prayer. And then you use sleep safe programming to send your higher self to, you know, where you need to go to get the information to make your life better, to get what you want, and you mastermind it. So, you know, just within the course of that last month of mastery, I really went through it, and I made changes to, you know, the supplements I was taking. I made changes to my routine. I'm walking more, like every day, because it helps with the bone density. I started at a gym that works especially on bone density, and already I feel better. I honestly, I feel better. I mean, I don't have the pain in my hip anymore, and I just know I'm getting better. So we'll know when I take the next bone scan, right? But already I feel better, and I know that I'm in control. And if I want to heal it, I certainly can. And that goes for everything. It goes for cancer. It goes for the sciatic nerve. It goes for back pain, because it's just about something. Oh, here's another thing. So as I'm healing this, there's this new technique that Kahu Fred Sterling has introduced into signature cell healing, which I'm going to teach in the workshops. It's called healing the fascia. And healing the fascia is the connective tissue in all the body. So I'm doing this technique on me all throughout my body, releasing this fascia, which is, you know, holding the cellular consciousness and the healing that needs to take place. And stuff, if you could see it, you could see stuff releasing out of my cellular consciousness. And I started to go back to all the times in this lifetime that I've had accidents, like, and fallen down, like a bicycle accident, many bicycle accidents, because I used to do triathlons, right? Many falling accidents because I used to run marathons and train. And I used to do a lot of running up and down hills, which is really not good for your knees or your hips. And so, I mean, I did that for years. And then I had a motorcycle accident. When I was in Switzerland, I totaled a motorcycle and fell down on that particular hip. And then there was also, I fell on the ice when I lived in Switzerland. And that was very emotional because nobody was there to help me, right? It was the middle of winter and there was nobody around, and I was lying there and I was like, nobody would even know I was falling here, you know. So it's all these emotions coming up out of this healing. And that's the way to do it. You know, don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed of crying or letting things go, because that's how you heal it. That's how you heal it out of the emotional body. So, you know, I mean, I'm seeing this stuff with, you know, people I used to know and places I used to be. And oh, how many times did I fall down skiing because they thought I'm from Hawaii, I certified should be able to ski, you know. So everybody, you know, you just missed that tree, you know. I mean, so many accidents, and they all started coming out for me in my meditations, and I would just look at them and go, oh, wow, I forgot about that. Boom, it was gone, you know. So, I mean, this is how, you know, not everybody's like me. I mean, I'm pretty aggressive in my own self-healing. I really want to heal because I really don't want to come back to earth again. You know, I'm not coming back here again. I'm going to get it right this time, folks. So I'm here to help you if you need it, because I think I've got an idea about how this works. And I'm so happily using this. My relationships are better. I mean, I'm doing so well. I mean, we are doing so well with in my marriage with my husband. Wonderful relationship now. We have a beautiful house. I feel like things are really going well for me now. And I feel it's a result of signature cell healing and being willing to heal. And you can have that too. But it's about taking the steps that you need to take to move forward. So thank you for letting me explain my whole mastery month. But I feel like I'm in transition now, and things are just, oh my God, things are just shifting and going so beautifully right now. I hope you'll join me, before I forget, I hope you'll join me tomorrow at the Honolulu Church of Light for the healing service, Healing Sunday, because I'll be doing the 5 breath self-healing meditation, leading everybody in that. And that is something I do 3 times a day. So you think my cells are vibrating? My cells are vibrating. And so, you know, you can really start your self-healing that way. And who doesn't want to have a better life, you know? I wish it for everyone. And that's why I like teaching signature cell healing. So join me tomorrow on the program. You can go to honoluluchurchoflight.com or yeah, that's the easiest place. I'm thinking about all the different websites, but it's on YouTube under Kahu Fred Sterling also. But you can get there through the Honolulu Church of Light.com website. It's a beautiful website. It's brand new. And just join in that, because that could be your next step, is listening to the other people that are involved in signature cell healing and see what it means for you. You're welcome. You can see that, you know, I'm in the trenches with you folks. But what I wanted to do before we finished was to do the meditation that Master Imhotep put in the channeling. So everybody just get really comfortable, and we're going to start breathing, and it's going to help to have in mind what you want to create in your life. What do you want to manifest into your life? And it can be something tangible, you know, like a car or a new place to live or something like that. Or it can be happiness or a beautiful life. And if it's a beautiful life, then you need to be able to visualize it and see it and say, what does it mean? That's a big part of what Master Imhotep shared with us, is you really need to be clear on what you mean. And you can be clear in the wording, or you can be clear in your vision of it. Okay, so take a deep breath. Get those golden particles going above your crown chakra and bring them in with every breath. And I feel Master Imhotep's going to join us. So that's so beautiful. And just let just start to engage this process of manifesting change in your life. And just feel the energy of transition that's prevailing right now in this month of July. So keep breathing and bring the awareness of that's in your mind, your conscious awareness, just drop it down into your heart and just feel that love in your heart and begin to feel your heart expand. With every exhale, just let your heart light expand and keep your awareness right there. And as you feel your heart light, begin to see in front of you your strongest, your most heartfelt desire. What is the desire that you want to have? Is it about healing yourself? Is it about your desire to release something in your physical body? Is it about bringing your relationship with yourself or with someone else to a new level? Do you want something tangible in your life? What have you been longing for? What is the feeling of that thing? So if it's something like a job or a new place to live, see it very clearly in as much detail as possible and ask yourself, how would this feel? How does it feel? And see it in full definition. And if it's your new life, a better life, then see that in detail. See yourself living in a new place, having a new job, feeling really good about yourself, moving freely because your physical body feels so good. Now send a strand of love from your heart and feel it connect with this desire or this thing you'd like to manifest, and see it connect. And know in your heart that you deserve to be happy and that you're worthy of having what you want. And know that the process of creation begins in the emotional body where you can feel it. And that's the level that creates the passionate energy of change. So feel your heart energy connect with this new manifestation and connect to it in love. And keep breathing and just know that it is you who's in control. Take a moment and feel the knowing within you and how that feels. All right, and you can return anytime to meditation to do this and to manifest what you want to create. And you'll know what your next steps will be because you'll receive it in meditation or it will be placed in front of you. So when you want to change something in your life, you see it in your mind and you feel it in your heart. Imagine that it is yours and welcome it into your life. Okay, so deep breath and slowly return to where we started. All right. How was that? You can feel it coming already, right? Any shares from that? I enjoy doing that, and that I got that from Master Imhotep for the channeling. And the channeling, by the way, is in the let's see, what's that called now? I changed it, under Wisdom Channel Guidance blog on my website, and it's called Create, Change, and Transform Your Life. And I want to also thank, of course, thanks Sedona Journal for putting my channelings every month in their magazine. I'm very grateful for that. Keep doing this meditation to focus on what you want to manifest, and let me know. My email is KarinnaNielsen.com. Email me and let me know how it's going for you. And it was another good one. Thank you, Sandra, for that thumbs up. And I also want to mention that we are envisioning in this same way, in the same way, a new healing for Mother Earth. So keeping Mother Earth in our hearts. And we do this every month, 3 nights before the full moon. And this month, our global healing meditation for Mother Earth is Sunday, July 10th at 9 p.m. your local time. And I recently had an opportunity to hear Master Guide Kirill talk about our meditation. And he had a lot of good things to say about it. So let's keep it going. He said that there's a lot of energies that gather in Diamond Head. So send your light there and just enjoy connecting with all the angels, all the galactics, all the energies. Our focus is the water systems of Mother Earth. It's a big focus for us. Of course, we're focusing on areas of conflict in the world for healing, and whatever you're drawn to share. But the focus has been recently on the healing the water systems of Mother Earth, in particular, the place on our island of Oahu called Red Hill, or in Hawaiian, it's called Kahukaki. I hope I said that right. Kapukaki. Mahina Ku, correct me if I'm wrong. And this is a place where the Navy has these enormous fuel storage tanks with 100 million gallons right now that needs to be removed, and the tank shut down because they're decrepit and they're from World War II, and they are threatening our water system on this island, and they have already polluted a certain portion of it within Navy housing. So it's really a great thing to put the light on this area, and together, when we gather in Diamond Head and send our light there collectively, we're so much stronger together. So prayers for Mother Earth are beautiful, individual prayers, but when we do it together, boy, is it powerful. So please join us. And there's information about that on my website too, and in my newsletter. So if you're not getting my newsletter, please sign up at KarinnaNielsen.com. Any final shares? Thank you, Wendy, for the love for Mother Earth. And our next program is going to be Saturday, August 6th. I hope you have a wonderful month of transition. It's always so dynamic for me, and I'm looking forward to hearing how it goes for you. So I'll look forward to seeing you then, and please stay tuned with me as we're all healing from our hearts in love. Aloha, everybody. Take care. Have a wonderful month of transition. Aloha.